Criminal Procedure Identification Rules 2022. So recently government has notified, specifically Ministry of Home Affairs has notified these rules. So let's study the background. See, Criminal Procedure Identification Act came up in March 2022. It has repealed or replaced Identification of Prisoners Act of 1920. So in this news, what we will cover is basically first we will cover this rule, their key features and their cons. Then we'll discuss about this act, its key features and its cons. Then we'll have a comparative study of this particular act along with this 1920 act and some specific recommendation why the change was required. So let's begin. So basically these rules, they will govern this Criminal Procedure Identification Act 2022. Okay, what they will govern? They will provide the procedure. For what? Procedure for taking measurement. What is measurement? Measurement is basically a kind of data. Okay, what kind of data? Like your fingerprints, your blood test, your saliva test, your semen test, your DNA test. These things, these are called measurements. Okay, of whose? It will cover convicts and others who are specified. For what reason? For identification of criminals plus to support investigation, okay, or to solve the criminal cases. Plus, it will also discuss about how to store or preserve the records. Preserving the record also includes deletion of record. Okay. So what are the key features of this particular rule? First, it says that for certain persons, some category of persons, the measurement will not be taken unless and until they have committed some other offenses. Okay, so what we'll do a comparative study between the key features and the concerns in the notified rules. Okay, so first thing we have discussed about certain persons have been excluded. Now see what the cons say is restricted grounds under which a person's data may be collected. Second thing, who can take the measurement? There are three persons. First one is the skilled person who is skilled in taking measurement. Second person is medical practitioner, and third one is anyone who is authorized for it. So second con is this rule does not define who is a skilled person. Third key feature is NCRB. NCRB is National Crime Record Bureau. Okay, it is under Ministry of Home Affairs only. It can give guidelines for how to take measurement, how to handle and store the measurements, how to process the data, and how to destruct the data. Okay, and the same thing it will direct to states also. Okay, so what is the cons here? See, it will violate the separation of role between entity that issues guidelines and follows it. Basically, what is happening? NCRB will issue the guidelines and follow them. Okay. Also, for destruction of record, it says that an individual has to request a nodal officer. But if you compare the rules with the Act says that NCRB is allowed suo motu destruction, but rules say that individual has to request for this destruction of the data. Last key feature is unauthorized access. If someone unauthorizedly access the data, he will be punished under the sections of IPC, Indian Penal Code 1860, and Information Technology Act 2000. Okay, we'll move on. Now we'll talk about Act. Act is Criminal Procedure Identification Act. As we have already discussed, it has replaced Identification of Prisoners Act 1920. Okay, what are the key features of this act? Okay, first thing is it has widened the scope of measurement. That we'll discuss at the later stage when we'll do the comparative study of 1920 Act with 2022 Act. Also, it has widened the scope of who can collect the data and who can authorize the collection of data, who can make the rule making. All these things will study at the later point. Okay. Secondly, it says that data can be stored for 75 years. Okay, this is one of the con that for the life, almost for the life of an individual, data will be stored. Okay, may be destroyed in some certain cases where there is exoneration. Okay, or for the first time someone is arrested and he was relieved by the court. In those cases, this data can be destroyed, but for that also an individual has to request. Okay. Then another key feature is refusal to give data, that is punishable under IPC Act. Okay, it empowers NCRB to collect details about persons covered under Act, state and union territories, and all other enforcement agencies from whom data has to be collected. That can be asked by NCRB. ठीक है, चलिए आगे देखते हैं. Why it was needed? It has discussed. Why new law was needed? Okay, Criminal Procedure Identification Act 2020 needed because new modern technologies came. See, the earlier act came in 1920. Since then, it's been 102 years. Okay, so during those 102 years, science and tech has moved million miles. Okay, so like DNA technology came, and every technology which was available during that time has seen a shift. Okay, that's why. Second thing, now we want investigation to be more efficient and expeditious, plus we want to increase the conviction rate. That's why we needed this new Criminal Procedure Identification Act. Okay. Then we talk about recommendation. Who recommended and what? Malimat Committee of 2003, it has recommended that magistrates should be allowed to authorize an individual to collect data on blood samples, DNA, hair, saliva, and semen. Actually, 1920 data was not allowed to collect these samples. So Malimat Committee said that at least allow a magistrate to ask and a competent authority to collect these data for the furtherance of investigation. Then Law Commission of 1980 says that 1920 Act should be revised to bring the modern technology under it. Okay, चलिए आगे देखते हैं. Now there is a comparative study between the 1920 Act and 2022 Act. First thing is what data to be collected. अब देखिए 1920 का जो एक्ट था उसमें सिर्फ फिंगरप्रिंट्स, फुटप्रिंट्स और फोटोग्राफ्स ली जाती थी. नाउ जो प्रेजेंट एक्ट है उसमें ये तीनों तो आप कलेक्ट करेंगे. इसके अलावा यू विल कलेक्ट बायोलॉजिकल सैंपल्स एंड यू विल एनालाइज देम, देन आइरिस एंड रेटिना स्कैन, देन बिहेवियरल एट्रीब्यूट्स लाइक साइन एंड हैंडराइटिंग, देन अदर under sections 53 and 53A of CRPC you are allowed to collect blood, semen, hair sample, swabs and analysis such as DNA profiling. Okay, अब इसके आगे क्या लिखा हो, किसका डेटा कलेक्ट करना है. सो देयर इज अ कंपैरेटिव स्टडी. सी अर्लियर सेड दोज हु आर arrested or convicted for the offenses which are punishable for minimum 1 year of rigorous imprisonment. This has been replaced by for any offense an individual can be arrested, but biological sample will be collected for those who have been arrested or convicted for women or child offense or offenses which are punishable for minimum 7 years. That is heinous crime. ठीक है. इसके बाद सेकंड क्या है, persons ordered to give security for good behavior and maintaining peace. Those who will give security that okay we will maintain peace, just leave us, don't keep us in jail. Okay, here they have widened the scope for preventive detention laws. Then to whomsoever magistrate will order those who are arrested. ठीक है. Previous law it said that if someone is arrested and magistrate says that his sample needs to be taken, that can be taken under the law. But here what says that even if an individual is not arrested, magistrate can order for the collection of measurements. Okay, who is required or directed for the collection? Earlier, see, investigating officer under CRPC, officer in charge of police station, or sub inspector or equivalent or above ranks. Now that ranking has been reduced. That is one of the cons, to a head constable or above. From sub inspector it was reduced to head constable. Okay, then secondly magistrate can give the directions. Now head warden of prison can give the direction. Metropolitan magistrate or judicial magistrate of first class can give the direction. Then executive magistrate in case of person required to maintain good behavior or peace. Okay, so how it has widened the scope of who can collect the data and who can direct to collect the data. That is clear. Now last thing is who has the power to make the rules. Earlier the power was entrusted with state government. Now state and government of India both can make the laws. Okay, then what are the concerns with it? First thing is Supreme Court judgment 2017 on right to privacy versus collection of personal data. Second thing is fundamental right against self-incrimination under Article 23 versus resistance to give measurement as a criminal offense. Third is even for a petty offense, if you get arrested, it's not talking about that you have been jailed. Okay. Only if you are arrested for even a petty crime, your data can be collected. Okay. And secondly, there is no limitation on the use of that data collected. What can it result? It may result in abuse of law at the lower level. Secondly, it will overburden the collection and storage system. Thirdly, this kind of data collection may result in mass surveillance if those kind of huge database is combined with other database such as crime and criminal tracking network and systems. Then it talks about NCRB is ill-equipped to manage such kind of huge data, especially the biological samples and their analysis. Third is this kind of derivative data like analysis behavioral data can be used for predictive policing. Okay. After that, the topic discussed about Puttaswamy case, as we have discussed right to life. Okay. The new act talks about centralized database that can be widely used and not just for a particular case. Secondly, lowering the level of officer who is authorized to collect the data. Initially it was sub inspector and above. Now it is head constable and above. Last is for 75 years you can keep the data. That is effectively for the complete life of individual.